I will bring you the highlights or the summary of the discussions that were made in the breakout session about opportunities and challenges for farm data use. It's of course important to say that this is a summary of what the participants there brought together. If we look at the first questions that we addressed about awareness, it was very important to see that a lot of the participants said, yes, farmers are using the technology already, and there they made big progress in using also precision farming technology, but they're not enough aware yet about the data potential of this technology. But what is also really clear is that there is big differences, and that if we want to work on this, we need a tailored approach, because there are regional differences, there are age differences, there are differences in size of the farms, and differences in the sectors that we address. If farmers are aware of the data and they took that first step, then they get blocked in the fact that they are not enough supported yet on how to use it. So they say there are too many possibilities, too many different apps, it's too complex, and it becomes too difficult without support to work with that. So please look into simple visualization and keep it focused on the situation of the specific farmer on farm level. One that really comes out is everything what has to do with cost benefit, and several people said the cost is always much easier to make the cost clear than to make the benefit clear. These benefits are less tangible. Also, somebody clearly said, yeah, lowering the costs compared to more benefit. It has farmers have been for aging, lowering the cost, producing more with less. But we also need to look at it from the other side. We need to create more value, bring the benefit higher, and not only looking at extra revenues, but also non-monetary values like higher quality of life and other benefits that are not easily determined in money values. The importance here and the benefits also for automation, less paperwork and reduce of heavy labor was mentioned. And then again, communicate about this, communicate about the cost benefit, do it on farm level and be specific. And more than one person addressed it as, or more than one breakout room as one of the biggest challenges. If we then ask how far we are in interpreting this data, what is the role of advisors there and what can be done? It's clearly that people say that training the advisor is a huge step forward and the biggest benefit. Better to train the advisor than or focus on the advisors. There are already some great steps forwards, fully in line with what Tom just said. But at this page, we need to challenge our advisors to be constantly updated with the knowledge. The importance of peer-to-peer learning, also said by Tom, and where possible, try to explain to farmers the black box. Farmers don't like that, they don't understand why a certain advice comes out of the data, and there we need independent, objective advices. People were looking for incentives to motivate farmers to use data more, not real concrete solutions yet there, but something to think of maybe also today. And then the lack of integrations, too many different solutions, too many different platforms. Try to integrate them, make them work with the farm management systems, and again, keep it simple and smart. And finally, it's a statement, the decisions should not be made by a machine, but should be made by humans. We had the questions very quickly on which other actors could be interested in the data. There it were the usual suspects: retail, agribusinesses, governments and policymaking, the paying agencies, bank and insurance, certification bodies. And the last two I want to specify because they were mentioned a lot: researchers and consumers. Farmers are waiting or are interested in consumer feedback data. And then to remind you that today we were looking into solutions, I will end with the list of challenges that farmers are still facing. Connectivity in rural areas was mentioned. Some regulations about the timing, for instance, when you can put manure or slurry can work against certain of the advice that come out of the data. The lack of educated labor, the difficulties to do the investments, a lack of protection of the data and control of the data readiness that is not yet there, as it was discussed earlier in one of the open space discussions. And I like the last ones from somebody, and it was supported by more than one person, saying we need less ITers, more agronomists. And then with that message, I send you off to the next breakout rooms, and I give the word back to Alvin.